just going to do a quick talk about who's playing what. We've got Nocturne versus Olaf in the jungle. Bottom lane, we've got Severe Taric versus Ezreal Leona. It looks like we're going to have Riven top versus Kha'Zix, and then maybe Yi mid against Elise. iRazorX, Flashmatash, who are the guys that we're spectating, playing that duo lane together and playing that really strong combo. So I think we should see there's going to be a lot of kill potential. And iRazorX taking that ignite as opposed to Severe taking that barrier. So she wants to play a little bit more passive in a lane and try and go for a more survivability. Whereas iRazorX, he wants to pick up those kills nice and early. Kha'Zix, really strong champion right now because of the AD caster items, make him really relevant and makes his damage relevant all the way through the game. Similarly, Riven, her damage really relevant, and she scales so well with AD because of that shield, and that makes her really scary because she does a massive ton of damage. She then gets 20% bonus AD from her ultimate, and she gets a massive shield on top of that, and that's terrifying. Elise, haven't seen a lot of Elise actually, and I'm really interested to see how she does, whether she builds AP or whether she builds kind of hybrid damage, and I want to see how that works out. I want to see whether she's going to build full AP or whether she's going to build more kind of like Ginsu's or possibly full AD. I don't really know how she builds right now, and I haven't seen her in a very long time. I'm definitely feeling the team is in favour of iRazorX and Flashmatash with 2 plats on their team and only 1 plat on the other. But borders aren't everything to go by, and I think that's and I really don't know which way this game's going to go. I think both teams have a lot of CC, but Leona, so much CC packed in that one champion. Riven, you've got that AoE stun. Nocturne, you've got that tethered fear. Elise, you've got that long range stun. So they're all going to be really scary. And then on the sort of the opposite side of the pond, we've got Taric. He's got that stun, and actually we've got the slow on Olaf, and that's pretty much the level of their CC. So if in terms of CC, Purple team, they don't really have a lot to worry about. So if Ezreal can have great range and keep away from Olaf charging through with that Ragnarok, keep away from that Kha'Zix leaping in, with everyone being bolstered by that Severe ultimate and escape, then he's going to be fine and keep kiting, and that's going to work in his favour. So we might actually, and if Leona can peel for him, and then if it looks like we're going to see an AP Yi here, and actually blue team setting up for this gank in the bottom. Taric coming around the corner, axe coming out from Olaf, the stun coming in. There's the damage output, was amazing from Boomerang Blade. Yi came in with his Alpha Strike there to pick himself up a kill. Olaf axing it out though. He's going to take a massive amount of damage. Severe's going to take a turret hit as well, and they're going to back off, netting themselves that first blood for blue team. Elise getting completely, both Elise and Nocturne getting caught by that axe though. Followed up by the stun from Taric, just with the Boomerang Blade across the middle, was so dangerous. And that was a really great invade by them there to get themselves that early snowball. I'm going to move these guys around so that we know what's going on. And that's all the guys lined up. So, Taric, Ezreal Severe, both starting with the boots in 3. So they want Severe going back. She's picked herself up another potion, and they're going to have a nice passive time in lane, having only started with the movement speed. Elise though, she started with the Crystalline Flask, and I've talked about this before. Crystalline Flask is a really great item right now. It allows you to have amazing sustain in the lane, and she's gonna be able to stay in lane for a long time. She's got a ward as well, so she can mine these early ganks from Olaf because he does a lot of damage with that axe. That axe scaling really great with AD, and then every time he picks it up, he just he can apply it again, and it's terrifying. Yi starting with the Doran's Blade because he has that meditate, which allows him to have a phenomenal amount of sustain in lane. So as long as Elise keeps that stun that she has, I think it's Cocoon. As long as she keeps that Cocoon to cancel the Yi's meditate, I feel like she's gonna have an easier time in lane than he is. Olaf though, He got a smiteless leash on the blue buff, so he's going to grab these raids, go to his red, and then we're going to see a gank from him. Nocturne, did he get a smite? Nocturne got a smiteless as well. He's going to pick himself up the red buff as well, and then we might see a gank from him. He looks like he's going to want to gank onto this Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix, he's got that flash. He hasn't got his leap yet, so if Riven can get onto him using that stun that she has, it's going to enable that gank from Nocturne and enable that fear out. But Riven, amazing at trading with Kha'Zix there, using the passive, the stack she gets on her passive, with alternating between her auto attacks and her Q, and then following up with that stun to lock him down and trading so well with and forcing those health potions out of him. She started cloth in 5, and she's still completely out damaging him despite the fact he's got a longsword. Coming in the bottom though, Olaf, double of completely spotted out by this ward here, and looks like purple team are just going to back off, just going to funnel away a little bit, and Olaf's just going to have wasted a little bit of his time. Blue team should have spotted that ward placement down there in the bottom. Up top though, Nocturne, he's waiting in the side here, and he wants to get himself a gank on Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix having that leap now, it's going to be a tough one. If Riven can get the slow and the knock up, we might see a gank coming out. Ping's going in here. Kha'Zix is not going to use his leap yet. He's using that bush to his advantage. Leaps over Nocturne. Nocturne's got the red buff on him. He's going to flash out of the fear as well. And that was a really successful gank there. Yi Ping's going out onto the Elise here because he wants, she wants to be careful that Yi's not going bottom. And Olaf coming in at the side. We might see another gank come. Nocturne coming down as well, so we might have a counter gank on here as well. Olaf popping that ghost though. She's going to use that. She's going to use her ability to remain untargetable. She's going to fall under turret here, but Nocturne coming in. He's going to pick himself up on Olaf. He's not got his fear because he used it on Olaf. And are we going to see him be able to get in this Yi? I think Yi's going to get away no problem. And that's a 1-for-1. Jungler falling there to the mid. So I feel like that trade worked out in the favour. That trade worked out in the favour of purple team because Nocturne picked up himself a refresh on the double buff. Yi's gonna have his meditate back up, and he's gonna have no problem sustaining in lane. Bottom lane, Severe significantly outfarming outfarming iRazorX slightly here. Despite them because of that gank coming in from Olaf in the bottom, they backed off a little bit, and that forced iRazorX to lose out on a bit of CS. And hopefully, if we comment on his CS a bit, he might pick it up and play a little bit better for us. Leona getting that ward in that tri-bush, and this is really, really key to preventing these ganks from Olaf, because Olaf really struggles to get ganked off because he doesn't have a gap close. So using that spell shield there by Severe to deny the stun from Leona. Great stun from Taric though. iRazorX taking a ton of damage, but dealing a ton of damage to Severe, getting that arcane shift in with the ignite and the mystic shot, and with those pots ticking, Severe's going to have to back out because she's really low. Nocturne coming in the back though, didn't get spotted by this ward here because he came up through this tri-bush, and Olaf doesn't know he's there. But Riven, she's going to find herself on Olaf here. Olaf going onto there. See the spell shield coming out from Nocturne as well, so he can't get axed. The fear coming down as well. He's got the red buff slow on him, and Nocturne's going to let Riven get that kill, so she's going to get herself ahead in lane as well. And that really great play by Nocturne there to have the foresight to give that kill to the laner and allow her to get ahead of this Kha'Zix even more. Kha'Zix, he is not having a fun time in lane. He's got himself that assist early on, but Riven, she's out farming him by 10 CS, and then she's got a kill on top of that. It's going to make his laning phase very difficult. Lee's taking an absolute metric ton of damage from Yi. Yi picking up that Fiendish Codex to give himself 10% CDR, a little bit of management regen, and a little bit of AP, and that's going to build really nicely into either an Athene's Unholy Grail, and I think it also builds into Necronomicon as well. So if he wants to shut down any sustain that she might build herself. But I feel like he's going to build that into the Athene's Unholy Grail because it works really great when he gets the reset, giving him that mana to allow him to spam those skills out more and more. Nocturne coming at the side, but spotted out by that ward there, and that gank's gonna not gonna happen. Yi coming over to the bush, seeing that Nocturne's recalling, and I think he's just going to try and bait him out to cancel that recall over and over. So, after commenting on iRazorX's CS, he's managed to pick himself up in lane a little bit. But that Boomerang Blade doing a ton of damage, and Severe being really scary. She's got double Doran, so give 105 AD, and Boomerang Blade does 200 damage on hit. And that's a scary amount of Ezreal's HP. We're looking at 20% out before mitigation. Leona using the presence in this bush here to hopefully try and to pick themselves up a kill here. She's going to go straight onto Severe, but Severe's going to spell shield the Shield of Daybreak. Exhaust going down onto Ezreal. Exhaust also on Severe. Severe's using that boomerang blade there. It's not going to hit anyone, but Tarek's sustaining her back up, and she's going to drop those pots on, and Ezreal's not going to be able to have the same sort of level of sustain. CS right now, Elise, Yi, about even in the mid, but Yi has got himself 2 kills because he got that first blood, and he's just so much stronger than Elise, and then he got that gank later on, and so Elise she's keeping up in the CS, which is great, but she's so much behind in the gold race. She's only on 2k, and she's only on 2.2k, whereas Yi's on 3k. There we see Nocturne Paranoia coming in though. He's not in range though, and in that time Flash Matash and Ezreal are going to blow up Tarek during that darkness, which didn't allow Severe to see what was going on. I feel like Nocturne wanted to come in for the gank there, but Ezreal and Leona doing a serious ton of damage and just working really well in their favour. The ward going down into that tri-bush and completely spotting out the Olaf. The Nocturne, sorry, hanging around on the side. And while this is going on up top though, Riven really showing how dominant she is with being 20 CS ahead now, pops her ultimate and she's able to pick up Kha'Zix no problem. 140 AD with that up, and then she has Wind Slashers and Execute. And that's really the crux of it. Kha'Zix, he's just had a really tough time in lane. His laner got a kill when the Olaf came to gank, and I feel like Nocturne's had a greater presence up top than Olaf has, and Olaf's been caught out a couple of times, thinking he was tankier than he actually was, and lack of vision up in the top bush as well. And I think this is a really interesting topic actually. Is the addition of Sightstone has made that bottom lane so much harder to gank. Yi diving onto the Elise there. Elise is going to pick him up under the turret. Yi getting the kill as well from the ignite, and that's a 1-for-1 trade. Really, I did not see the tower dive coming at all there. Sorry about that, guys. But we saw the kills go down eventually, and that was a really great play. Nocturne doing a ton of damage to Olaf, but Olaf getting stronger as he gets lower. However, he realises he's losing out in that trade there against Nocturne and backs off. Nocturne got himself the Madras Razors. He looks like he's going to be building that into a Brutalize and eventually up into a Black Cleaver. Whereas it looks like Olaf is going to be building into a more tanky sort of route. He's got a Ruby Crystal, so we might see him pick up a Phage perhaps, or possibly even building that into a Warmog's Armor, which is really great for him as well. Riven chasing onto this Kha'Zix, so she's going to use her ultimate with the stun. He's going to dash away, but she's still got the Q chase, and that ultimate doesn't have a long cooldown. We'll see that ultimate fall off in a second, and we'll look at the 67 second cooldown. So in a minute's time, Kha'Zix is going to be in for a world of pain again, and he's going to have to be really, really careful that he doesn't get caught out. Looks like he's leveled up his spike evolution actually. Yeah, he looks like he's evolved his spikes, which means his spikes deal AoE damage in a cone, and that's going to allow him to try and catch up in CS. But he's 25 CS behind this Riven, and that's really making his job so much harder. She's 2-0, and the gold difference between them is almost 1,000 gold. Tower dive going in on the bottom though. Severe's got a spell shield on. It's not going to help her out though. Flash Matash is tanking this turret. He's going to walk out, okay, no problem. And Ezreal's going to pick himself up another kill there onto Severe. He's 101, and Leona's 101 as well, and they're having a really great time in lane. Yi though coming in, they need to be so careful of this Alpha Strike. Ultimate coming in though, dealing a massive amount of damage to Flash Matash. He's going to be fine though. Ezreal Tarek Tarek's going to dive onto Ezreal there. Zenith's Blade narrowly missing, and that's a shame they weren't able to stun him on the turret. Lee's being caught out completely, flashing over the wall. Yi's come across with her, and it looks like she's going to back out. It looks like she doesn't want to go on that. The axe coming across from Olaf to sort of get that slow out and say, hang on a second, you want to be careful here. But Elise looks like she's going to be picking up that Abyssal Scepter, so that she's got a little bit of tankiness, a little bit of AP, and that magic penetration. Magic resistance reduction is going to be really strong for her whole team. Ezreal, he does a little bit of magic damage. Leona, she does a little bit of the magic damage, and Elise obviously doing magic damage as well. So all of those that one item there is going to amplify 3 members of her team's damage output. And these are things that are often overlooked. Is do your items and do your builds synergize well with your team synergize well with the way your team is building, and that's something that I think is often overlooked and is a really sort of key aspect in a lot of the damage in team fights. Because if you might be slightly ahead in terms of gold, but if your team builds selfishly as opposed to a team that builds sort of together and works, and one person has an Aegis the Legion and one person has a Zeke's Herald, it's going to really sort of amplify everyone together, and that's something that's a really core concept, especially in these early team fights where those items make a significant amount of difference because it's a lot of your gold investment. Ezreal's got himself that Vampiric Scepter, so we might see him go for Triforce route early, or we might see him go for the Bloodthirster route early. Bloodthirster is a really popular item because sustain is really strong and AD is really strong. Riven taking a lot of damage from Olaf though, but Olaf dangerously low. She's going to finish him off with Wind Slash and Ignite, and doing a massive amount of damage to Kha'Zix. Are we going to see her dive onto Kha'Zix here? There's the flash and the Q. She's got the dash up she's got the dash up. She's not going to quite get the time. The stun coming out. She's going to do a lot of damage. Ignite's going to go down, but she's going to fall to the Ignite as well, and that's a double kill for Riven, but Kha'Zix picking himself up the shutdown, and that might have just brought him a little bit back into this game. He's still 1,000 gold behind, and he's actually 30 CS behind as well. This Kha'Zix is not having a fun time at all. Riven finishing that Black Cleaver up, so much damage coming out of her, whereas Kha'Zix only having the Brutalizer, and that's exactly the difference in their gold. We see Nocturne actually. He's coming around the back. He's got Paranoia on him right now. He's got himself that Wriggles Lantern. He's got the longsword as well. And we're going to see a gank here. They haven't got any vision of him, so they don't know he's waiting in the side wings. They haven't got any vision of his side wings. They've only got this one ward over here in the river. And I suspect we're going to see a tower dive. We've seen a tower dive before. Severe's going to get ultimate. The spell shield comes in. There's the barrier as well, and the Ezreal ultimate is going to do a massive amount of damage onto Severe. She's going to get blown. Ezreal's going to finish off. Is they going to be able to finish off this Taric here? I don't know. He's pretty quick. He's going to walk away from that, I think. And it looks like three members of Purple Team are quite overextended. iRazorX is taking a significant amount of damage from Olaf. Olaf is going to hit that axe though. The Golem's fighting onto iRazorX. He's really low. Yee's going to ult in, pick himself up a kill. Did he have his ultimate on? No, he didn't. So he didn't get the reset. Going to get the double kill on Leona, flashing over that red wall. After this, he really wants to get onto this Nocturne. Nocturne's taking a run for his life. Q coming in from Yi, spell shield from Nocturne, and meditate coming out from Yi to protect him. The dazzle coming in from Taric to stun her. Yi doing a lot of damage. Olaf doing a massive amount of damage, and Elise is going to get picked up by another axe throw there. And this Yi and Olaf picking up themselves up a kill from that, and all because they went completely over the top big on the Taric in that bottom lane. iRazorX thought, hang on a second, this is a bad idea, and backed off. But Flash My Tash and the Nocturne went even bigger and tried to pick themselves up that Taric. And realistically, they should have taken the one kill and backed away from that and taken the gold. Whereas actually, Elise came to try and help because she saw Yi coming down, and she put herself out of position trying to protect her teammates. So this game is very back and forth. The gold, there's a 600 gold separating the two teams. No turrets have been taken. Dragon hasn't been taken yet either. And this is all down to Riven just having a lot more farm than Kha'Zix. And Yeez has a lot more farm than Elise. And Ezreal has a lot more farm than Severe. So, we've got two members of Purple Team having more farm. Three more if you count Nocturne as well. Three more members of Purple Team with more farm than the two members of Blue Team. By the one member of Blue Team, sorry. However, Olaf, he's got that Chevalier's Reverie, and that's going to be really, really powerful for him to enable those ganks to come out and enable a lot of damage to come out from his team, because Severe, she gains movement speed from her ulti and from auto attacks, as well as the Chevalier's is going to give them really great chasing potential. We see the Zenith Blade and the stun going on to Olaf there, half HP being used with the Mystic Shot from Ezreal, and Yee's come down as well, so I think Purple Team need to be really, really careful here. While this is going on though, Kha'Zix has come down as well because they want to try and get themselves this dragon. Riven's just going to keep pushing top because she's not going to get there in time, and we might see the tier 2 turret fall. Riven's going to come across actually, and try and help get that dragon. Olaf picks that dragon up completely uncontested because Blue Team know they can't engage because they're in a 4v5 scenario. but can they pick themselves off a straggler? The Mystic Shot going out onto the Yi there. They've got the ward in that vision bush, so in this tri bush, so they know that if they're gonna try and catch them out. Tarek waiting on the other side of that wall, and I think Riven. Exactly what I talked about. Just going to keep pushing that tier 2 turret with her ultimate on to give her even more AD, and that's going to and she's going to do it. She's going to do a lot of damage. You're going to get a lot of damage out of this turret, and she's still uncontested. So we might see that fall, not this time, but in the foreseeable future. A lot of damage coming out onto Yi there. Nocturne coming. He's got Fear Down, Meditate, healing up that Yi so much. But he's going to fall after the Alpha Strike. Leona's come across as well. Olaf Axe going out. The Spell Shield coming out from Nocturne to mitigate some of the damage from Sevir's Boomerang Blade. And Elise netting herself a kill there and bringing herself back into this game slowly. It's going to take a little bit more. It's going to take a little bit more than one kill, but if she can carry on getting those kills with Nocturne and working together, that's going to really aid her team. The stun coming out and the Zenith Blade Spell Shield as well. Nocturne's going to get his Fear on and the ultimate from Leona. That's going to get them Nocturne another kill onto the Severe, and they're going to be able to take this turret completely uncontested. Tarek, he's hanging around a little bit. Ezreal's going to push this bottom turret up as well. We might see them get themselves 2 more turrets from this. That's 1 turret. Is Ezreal going to get himself the 2nd turret? Yes, he is. That's 3 turrets. That's a 3k gold lead for Purple Team. And now that's a 4k gold lead from Purple Team, sorry. 11 kills to 7, and really starting to play into this gold game and work into their favour. Elise picking herself up that blue buff with Nocturne, and she's going to give her much needed mana regen along with a nice amount of CDR, giving herself more of those volatile spiderlings, so she can get those out. And this, I actually don't know how Elise works. Pretty much, I know roughly how she works, but I know she's doing okay, and she's getting herself back into this game. She's trying to farm, make herself relevant again. She's only 10 CS behind this Yi, and she's farming up these wraiths now, which is gonna slowly clawing back that gold difference. Yi, he's having a pretty good game. He's 5-2, but the gold between them, because of those 2 turrets that fell, is actually only about 800 gold. But Yi doing a massive amount of damage to Ezreal there. Ezreal having picked up that Bloodthirst now. Got the Amplifying Tome in the Sapphire Crystal, which means he's going to be building into that Sheen, and Sheen plays so well with his auto attacks and with his Mystic Shot applying that proc as well. So that's going to really sort of bolster his damage output. Leona, she's building into that Aegis of the Legion, and then we'll probably see her build into that Runing Bow forward, which is going to mitigate some of that Yi's damage and really protect Iroh's Rex from a lot of that AP damage output. Kha'Zix getting pinged out there by this ward here. Riven's still top. She's got that Black Cleaver. She's building that Ward Mill, so she's going to be building into the Rancho Zone. She's going to build her team a little bit of utility. And this Yi is really scary, actually. He's got 300 AP. He's got Rabadon's Death Cap and the Chalice of Harmony with the Fiendish Codex. So he's going to build that into the 13th Century Holy Grail at some point. And if he gets a reset once in a team fight, it's going to allow him to dart around that team fight and do even more damage. And as long as he can keep getting those resets with his ultimate, he's going to have a lot of sustained DPS, and I think if Purple Team can blow him up before he can get that meditate off, it's gonna work really well for them. Riven here, she's been spotted out by that ward on that blue buff. She's got flash and her dash and her Q, and she's gonna get away from there. Excuse me. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, I'm feeling that Purple Team, they're resting on their laurels a little bit, and they need to try and get themselves a little bit more vision around the map and get themselves a little bit more kills. There's the ultimate from Leona coming in, Ragnarok coming down from Olaf, the ultimate coming in from Ezreal to finish off the Severe, which is doing a massive amount of damage. Nocturne flashes out, takes one more tower hit. Elise is going onto the Yi though. Yi using his meditate, which is doing a massive amount of regeneration for him. He's going to sustain himself straight back up, and he's going to be really scary. Riven, she's hanging around the side. Ezreal pushing bottom though, and in what was a 4v5, with the Ezreal ultimate coming across, it worked really well in their favour. And Ezreal ultimate doing a massive amount of damage on that Severe though, and completely dropping her from about a 3rd HP. Really great timing from iRazorX there and really great vision for him to see that teamfight break out and to use that ultimate and predict where she was going to move to at the back there. Really great play. Nocturne, he's built himself the Phage and the Giant Spell, so he's going to be building that into the Frozen Mallet to make himself a little bit more tanky, and so that he can get into those back, so he can initiate with that Paranoia, but ultimately he can survive long enough for that fear to do its job, and so that he can do a bit of work and CC whoever his main target is, which I'm assuming he's going to want to get into that back and do and lock down maybe Yi, or maybe lock down that Severe or Kha'Zix. Riven pushing up this top lane again, really out farming this Kha'Zix now. 60 CS lead. She's 4 and 1. He's 1 and 2. Both got Black Cleaver, but she's on 7.6k gold from objectives as well. Kha'Zix 5.6k, and that's really the crux of it. Nocturne 6k compared to Olaf's 5.6k. So Olaf building it a lot more tanky though. Shurelya's Reverie, Giant's Belt, Ruby Crystal. He's going to be building that into a Warmonk's armor, I suspect, and that's going to give him a lot of damage, a lot of survivability in those team fights. And then of course his W giving him AD based on his HP. Nocturne pinging out this dragon now, and got the wall down here from Purple Team, so they've got vision on it, but Blue Team don't have a vision on it. Purple Team, they don't know about the vision, and we'll try and see what Blue Team can see. Blue Team, no idea what's going on right now. Purple Team's picked up the dragon. I'm going to switch back to the old vision, and then but Purple Team, no idea what was going on there. Had a feeling. Flash Montage hitting his ultimate, following him by the Zenith Blade. Nocturne's ultimate's going to come in there onto the Olaf. Olaf is really tanky with the Ragnarok. He's going to fall during that fear as the Ezreal ultimate comes across him, and that really great pickup there. Got themselves a dragon and netting themselves a kill. Severe though, she's being attacked by Flash Montage. Getting the stun out. She's used the barrier there. Flash Montage, he's been stunned by the Taric though. Elise going really deep in the turret. She's going to fall to Kha'Zix though. And Nocturne's going to fall here as well. He's going to fall to Severe, but is Yi's going to fall to Riven. Leona's going to pick up. Yi's going to fall to Leona. Sorry, Riven's going to pick herself up Severe, and then we're going to see Purple Team go onto this tier 2 turret, and that was a really good fight in their favour. Again, 2 members of Purple Team falling to 3 members of Blue Team. Really great play, as well as the dragon. Now we're looking at 7k gold lead. They're CSing better than them, and they're pushing down onto these turrets and getting these objectives. 4 turrets to 0, and that's a lot of damage. Kha'Zix though, very wary of how much damage this Riven can do, because she's so scary. Kha'Zix though, he's got himself that Giant's Belt as well as the Ninja Tablet to mitigate a lot of the AD based damage and the auto attack based damage from Ezreal, who's doing really well, as well as Riven, who's doing very well as well, and Nocturne, who's doing pretty well as well. Elise picking up that needlessly large rod, so we could see her go in 2 ways here. She could either build that into a Zhonya's Hourglass, or we could see her build that into the Rabadon's Death Cap. So she could either go for a more more survivability type build where she has that immunity to damage for 3 seconds, or we could see her go for full out AP and just want to do as much damage as possible, but forgo a little bit of survivability. And it'll be interesting to see where she builds, because she likes to get in there in the fights at the end, and the armor might help her out, considering they've got Kha'Zix and Olaf and Severe, who all do AD type damage. So we'll see from her where she takes that build. She's actually got quite a lot of Magic Pen as well, and I know her Spiderlings deal percentage of the target's missing health. So Magic Pen is going to be really effective for her, because she's got Magic Pen on the boots, and then she's got the Shred, Magic Resist Shred of the Abyssal Scepter. So that's going to pay really well into a more Magic Pen oriented build, because she's got really great base damage. Ezreal, his CS is really great right now as well. 192 CS, Severe's 140. And actually, picking up a second Sapphire Crystal, there's the Iceborne Gauntlet I was about to mention. And that, I really like Iceborne Gauntlet on Ezreal in this patch. Because it allows him to keep people at range and kite for indefinitely. Every time he gets a Sheen proc, he gets AoE damage and AoE slow, and that also gives him a little bit of armor, and it gives him that 15% CDR, which works so well for him, and it gives him a little bit of AP as well from the Sheen and the upgraded version of it. But Nocturne, paranoia onto Taric here. Taric getting Zenith bladed by Leona. Leona's W is going to tick off, and that's going to get her another kill. And she's carrying this game. GG, man. She's going to need some Vicks Vapor Rub, or maybe some DP, because her back's going to be sore. Kha'Zix leaping in onto the Leona there. Severe popping her ultimate. The axe coming down from Olaf onto her. The ult coming out from Leona as well though. Riven doing a massive amount of damage onto Severe. Flashing away from Riven. Riven's going to finish her off. Olaf's going to pick himself up alone. And Leona. Nocturne's come in. There's Ezreal as well. Elise is going to come down onto Yi. And the chase is on. The red buff and the slow from Ezreal onto Kha'Zix is going to slow him. And whilst that's going on, Elise and Nocturne themselves up a kill onto Olaf. But Kha'Zix just getting away with his life. Tarek's come out as well, and we should see another turret fall here. We're going to see this inhibitor turret fall. We might see them push onto this inhibitor turret here because they've got a large minion wave as well. Bottom lane's pushing up as well, and so we could see this turret and this turret fall whilst those minions become empowered, taking down that inhibitor. Iron Resurrect starting on that inhibitor turret, and the second inhibitor is going to fall here as well. 10 seconds on Olaf, 10 seconds on Yi, and Leona's already come back up. So ping's coming out, so it looks like they might want to back off here and move round into this turret here with that bottom lane pushing up. Kha'Zix, he's building himself that Sunfire Cape because he realises how much AD damage and he needs that armour and survivability that the Sunfire Cape is giving him. Riven though, Warden's Mail giving her that armour and the slow on attack speed, but Bloodthirst, Black Cleave, double Doorans, it's a significant amount of AD as well as a significant amount of sustain, and her ultimate gives her even more AD. It's giving her 20% extra AD, which is plus 56 right now, which is, on top of the 262 she has. That's bringing her in line with sort of the same with even more AD than Ezreal's got. Ezreal 240 AD, but Sheen playing so well with all of his spells, and he's pumping out a lot of damage for his team, and he's being in the right places at the right time. Seeing the Rabadon's Death Cap pick up from Elise there, as well as a giant spell, so she wants to make herself a little bit more tanky, but tanky in terms of HP instead of tanky in terms of armor and magic resist. Severe preventing the push from the bot lane, and it looks like we've got the ward here at the Baron from blue team, but ping's coming out from purple team. They really want to look to pick up this Baron here. The blue team got a ward in this bush here, and they've got a ward in at this Baron. However, I feel like blue team just don't have the damage or the CC to prevent purple team from doing this Baron right now. So if they can do this quick enough without taking taking too much damage, they're going to net themselves this Baron, and they're going to be able to fight straight at the back. And Leona, she's got that. She's going to try and. She's got that vision in the side ward here. Ezreal's coming in the side though. They're going to smite out this. They're going to smite out this Baron, and Riven's going to go straight onto the Severe. Severe's going to spell shield. Ezreal also coming across is going to finish with that. Tarek flashing out of the wind slash there. Whilst this is going on, Nocturne's chasing after the Olaf. Olaf's going to get feared by the Nocturne. Nocturne's going to be able to slow him using that Phage, pick himself up that kill. Kha'Zix is in a really tough time now because he's with 5v2. Yi's gonna back off as well, and I think we might see either a surrender come out from blue team, or they're going to push on and take these turrets pretty much uncontested. Damage coming out of this turret is significant. Riven, massive amount of AD. Ezreal doing a massive amount of damage as well. And that's going to be the GG right there, and it was a really well played game. 51k to 37k, 22 to 10, and that was a really well played game. Wow, I didn't have a drink by the end of that. Oh, that was intense. So intense.